Imagine stepping onto the court as Amare Stoudmire, one of the most athletic and best finishers the game has ever seen, known for his slashing ability and defensive powerness. Replicating Stoudmire's playstyle in NBA 2K25 is about capturing that rare blend of power and agility. If you're looking to craft a build that's truly second to none, focusing on making one like Amare Stoudmire will be key. Today we'll explore a build that not only excels as an elite interior threat, but also stands out as one of the best all-around defenders in the game. So before we move any further, I just gotta say thank the Lord above, King Jesus, for another day and another opportunity. Comment down TG for thank God and where you're tuning in from so I could get back to you with a response. And if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the rich family. Let's get 100 likes on this video. And now let's get into the breakdown of today's gameplay and build. So for slashers in NBA 2K25, to ensure that you are viable as shooting is a crucial factor when it comes towards crafting any type of build. And whether it's from the 3-point line or mid-range shot for this archetype, I think it's going to be perfect to maintain at least somewhere in 80 mid-range or 3-pointer. This is going to come down to your personal preference. This build isn't just about being athletic, but I can say it's about creating one of the most versatile and well-rounded archetypes possible this year, and particularly on that defensive and finishing side. So this is a build that can truly excel and shine on both ends of the floor, and it really offers, a real dynamic on both ends of the court that not too many builds actually can maintain. The beauty of this build is that it really lies on the agility and pretty much to lock down anybody on the court, especially if you're guarding a speedy 5'9" guard or one of those tall 7'3" centers. This build is capable of doing so. And if you focus on the defensive end on this build, you can really achieve a 99 strength if you focus on that area. But I can definitely say that there's countless ways to tailor this build, especially depending on your play style. Whether you're going up against the maximum speed or maximum strength, this build definitely keeps me confident in being able to defend both. And there's also countless ways to tailor this build. It really depends on your play style, but the key is to blend your personal touch with Amare Stoudmire's likeness. And playing with Amare Stoudmire alongside Carmelo Anthony on the New York Knicks was something really special, but watching him alongside with the Phoenix Suns, this really showcased how special of a player he was. Not only did it give us a glimpse of LeBron James, but especially with his athleticism and consistency at the rim, I can say he was one of the best highlight reels to watch. And it really did showcase how special his career was, and really one of my favorite aspects of Stoudmire was his athletic ability. And I can say it really translates nice in NBA 2K25 slashers this year, especially those built for being able to guard on that defensive end and really offer a straightforward path to, being able to finish at the rim. That's really one of the best ways to go about any type of archetype, without compromising too much on that offensive side. So feel free to make any type of changes to this build to your own taste. And if there's a certain NBA player or archetype that y'all want to see next, be sure to let me know in the comments. And when we talk about players like Amare Stoudmire, I can say there's a clear sense that today's game really misses that raw competitive spirit, and especially being able to, show off that athleticism. That's something we don't see too much today. In an era where the physicality of basketball somewhat has kind of diminished, players like Stoudmire and, just being able to finish and bring that rarity to the game really brings a unique character to teams and players. Creating this build in NBA 2K25, I promise you, you're going to have fun and also find success in settings from the 1v1 all the way to the 5v5. This archetype is even a great team player, and it's really special when impacting any lineup with its defensive abilities. And slashers have really become somewhat of a dying breed this year, I can say. But with the new dunk meter that we just got an update on, I can say particularly the offensive end is looking pretty nice. I can say it's super easy to score this year, especially with this kind of build. It really does stand out on that offensive side, but being able to even get badges like Old Posterizer are really close to legend. I truly feel that slashers hold a significant role across all game modes, whether it's making the defense focus on the arc or even leaving it open, especially in the rack. I can say that this build definitely attracts so many double teams, and really for its finishing ability, versatility. That's the main reason I can say. And especially with the contact dunks, this build I think is truly game changing. Especially if you want to lean on post moves, you can definitely do so, but being able to score from post-ups into contact dunks, that's something that's very special about this build today. And if you have a particular play style that you want to aim towards, be sure to cater this build towards that. When you go up against smaller builds, I can say this one definitely dominates against them. You know, I've had so much fun with this build, and particularly because I can say we don't really skimp on that defensive end. You know, it's often overlooked in a lot of builds today, but I'm not going to be bringing y'all builds that are not going to be useful this year. You know, I can remember when finishing was the meta in older 2K games, and with this archetype, that brings somewhat of that feeling back. You know, there's truly a minimal learning curve with this archetype, and I think if you try to model your game somewhat around LeBron, Stoudmire, Zion, this is going to be a build that you can really have a lot of fun and success with. Now, my approach to this build really was making sure that I can pretty much guard just about any position 1 through the 5. The strength is going to be a key attribute, but the versatility in the My Player Builder system this year, I think it's a major W because it allows us to create so many different unique builds and, you know, finding even different new play styles. So even with lower shooting attributes, this build can definitely remain a threat on the outside. I've come to love using rhythm shooting this year on this archetype. It really opens up the floor. I feel like it truly makes timing those jump shots so much easier, and I've actually used rhythm shooting all year, and even with lower shooting stats, it's made a significant difference compared to using the button. You know, on this build, I really wanted to be the most athletic player on the court, and I think it really brings the intensity and versatility to this game, especially with being able to have an impact. This is going to be the build for that. And if you want to be able to create a build that can dominate on both ends of the court, I encourage you to experiment with a build just like this one. You know, tweak it to your own liking. And I really want to know, what do you think about this archetype down below? Any types of changes and adjustments that you would make? You know, I'm curious, for those of y'all who have been playing 2K for years, how do you think this build compares to builds of the past? I think truly this build will really blow out builds of the past out of the water. You know, I feel like NBA 2K25 overall is a W. There's a few things gameplay wise that I can feel get touched up on, but throughout the year, man, the build versatility, especially with the amount of game modes we got, I think it's a huge W for the community. Y'all have been giving me so many positive responses in the comments, and I just want to say thank y'all so much. You know, with all of y'all supporting, it truly means the world to me, and I'll continue to drop these videos for y'all. And if you have a certain player that y'all want to see, be sure to let me know down below. Being able to recreate players like this and their play style really shows me what the NBA is missing today. And I really want to challenge y'all to see how you can incorporate players like this or even play styles into your current game. You know, if you want more gameplay, be sure to get this video to 100 likes. I think with the enhanced mechanics, not only on the defensive side this year, but on the offense as a whole, is truly something special. And I really just want to say, you know, thank the Lord above, King Jesus, for another day and another opportunity, allowing me to build the most positive 2K Christ-like community here on YouTube, y'all, the rich family. And I really want to say thank you as well, man. This is really going to be an archetype that I can say you can take into the 1s, the 2s, the 3s, 4s, and the rec, the 5s, bro. This is going to be a build that you can find success with across all game modes. Now, I can say there is a minor learning curve when it comes towards that offensive side, but if you learn how to shoot, bro, this is going to be one of the best all-around builds that you can make. Now, I love the fact that you have the potential to actually get that #1 comparison of Amare Stoudmire. And there's definitely different ways that you can model this build. So, like I said, man, if you feel like you want to go more up on the shooting or the finishing, even the defense or playmaking, make the adjustment to do so. You make it a different build name and comparison, but as long as you make it to how you feel comfortable with, I think that's going to be the best option to go through. You know, one of my favorite things about this build, of course, it's going to be the finishing, but the defense as a whole really does surprise me. And I can say, if you have your patience, man, especially with this archetype inside of the post, you're going to be able to get some stops. And as you can see from the gameplay itself, man, I was able to do just that. Even if I'm going up against, let's say, a post scorer or even those speedy guards, everything that I came across, I was really equipped with this archetype. And I can say this year, attributes do matter, but I would say to a point, man. There's certain thresholds that I see really you don't need to upgrade certain attributes past certain areas. And that's why I bring y'all these unique builds, so I hope you can appreciate that. So before we get out of here, man, if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you know. Smash that like button. Turn on post notifications to be a part of the rich family. And comment down TG for thank God and where you're tuning in from. And I will definitely be sure to get back to you with a response. And with all that being said though, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.